Hi, I want to make a video on the subject of how we're all sensations. That's all we are, feelings. And I want to mention some things, I guess, on selfishness and we're, um, how contradicting your agenda for the sake of making the agenda easier isn't always the thing. Sort of like breaking the rules to make get the point across, I guess. So I guess let's cover that subject first. And breaking the rules for, like, say, the cop's chasing you down. He has to speed to get the speeder. He has to chase you by speeding. Obviously, that's not a way to solve the problem because you're breaking the rules. Therefore, you're contradicting the rules and you're being a hypocrite to the rules. You're defying the rules to. You're defying and breaking the rules to fix the problem of someone or something else breaking the rules. And you can see how that comes into conflict. Unless you self-proclaim yourself beyond the rules, then I see no function in breaking the rules for no good reason. Because all you're doing is breaking the rules to enforce the rules yourself. You're enforcing the rules by breaking the rules to chase the criminal. That doesn't make much sense. Yes. If you're breaking the rules, you have to find some other way to catch them. Find a detour and find them. Be a little more smart. Use your brain a little more, not use your ability to break the rules to catch the person that's breaking the rules already. Because that's obviously no way to enforce, say, the law or enforce anything. Unless you find some kind of loophole, I guess. But that's not the main subject of this video. I just wanted to shoehorn another subject in here so I didn't have to make a full video on something like that. And if I have anything else to add on that, I can always mention it and draw allusions to that in comparisons. So yes, as beings, we're selfish. We're selfish to get our next quota and all that. So we're selfish, and we're always doing things for ourselves. Defying the rules. I guess another thing I wanted to mention of that, I guess, and being selfish is, oh, I guess let's have children to continue this antinatalistic kind of thing, continue our antinatalistic agenda. Break the rules, I guess, is the main example I wanted to use for that. So you're breaking the rules of what you believe in, one of your main philosophies. Obviously, it's not always the easiest thing to not contradict yourself or be a hypocrite, because it's obviously hard in many circumstances to be a hypocrite, because you have to just accept everything from all angles. If you're just going to allow yourself, okay, I can't make a mistake by being a hypocrite, I have to accept everything from all angles from everyone else. I can't say they can't do it. I just gotta fight back and be clever. Yeah, let's be clever. I guess that's the best way to do it, is be clever in reaction to a person's circumstance. Don't blame them for being a hypocrite. Just say, I don't do it. Try your best not to do it. And I'll find my way to react to you more clever, in a more suiting manner than by being a hypocrite and enforcing some kind of draconian rule or standard on you. I guess all we can try or do is try our best to make the point as clear as possible. It's almost in a way trying to be subtle as many circumstances we can do. Obviously, one of those things, if you're an antinatalist, it's easy not to have a kid. So try your best not to have a kid if you're an antinatalist. But sort of like veganism, vegetarianism, even if you don't necessarily do it or do it fully, then it doesn't mean you can't argue for it. Sort of like arguing against someone that's lying to you. That's wrong. The fact that I get off on it doesn't mean much, except that it's an addition. And the fact that I'm arguing against you, what was the comparison I was trying to make? But anyway, I guess the point is that's what I hate about making videos. I always lose my train of thought because there's 1,000 things going on in my head at once. But anyway, I guess I gotta move on from that anyway. Yeah, so I guess I'll just sit here and think for a minute. Yeah, this is why it's so discouraging making videos sometimes. Anyway, so many subjects and there's so many things. Anyway, yes. So I guess the main thing is feeling things and thinking things, I guess. Yes, I want to hit myself. It's really frustrating. Yeah, so we're feeling things and blah blah blah. Yeah. hmm Yeah, we're feeling sensations, things, and how this is really discouraging. And yeah, so we're feeling things, and obviously I mentioned how our intellect can get in the way and contradict that, and that's all we're doing is feeling, and we're trapped in this body, so we can't do anything to avoid that. We can't avoid the fact that we're sort of stuck. You have that sinking feeling, that feeling of being trapped. When you're sick or when you feel bad, you feel like you're trapped, but not only because you're trapped because you're sick, but you're trapped because you're sick because you have a body to be sick. And if you have a body to be, if you didn't have a body to be sick, wouldn't possibly be sick. But it's one of those things that you realize. It's one of those logical conclusions, one of those extra steps at looking exactly what's going on. You realize, well, if I didn't exist as a body, I wouldn't be stuck in the circumstance where I'm stuck in a body that can obviously be cause me to get sick. Because obviously my body is the thing that's changing based on, say, an illness I have, or and whatever I may be experiencing that's a negative sensation. So it's my body functioning around that. And my body is the one that's changing based on that experience. So my body's experiencing a negative deprivation because of that experience. So it's because my lungs are forming cancer or whatever it is, or they're not functioning right because of a rash or whatever it may be in that I'm experiencing. It's because my own body's making it possible by its existence and having whatever may be causing the problem getting in the way of the normal functioning of, say, my lungs or whatever function of um, my functionality. And obviously we're just feeling things, and we're forced to feel based on our existence, or like we're forced to move and exist a certain way once we exist based on the things that are pushing us and pulling us. We're forced to do those things a certain way based on the interactions that we have with the environment, where there's nothing more we can do but interact and feel, and that's what we're doing. And I would argue you can't have an intelligence without feeling, because you have to have an intelligence based on feeling and knowledge of feeling and understanding how that's the only thing that really means anything, is the feeling, knowing where we come from, where the feeling comes from. And since you know where the feeling comes from, obviously you have to have the feeling to create the intelligence to know where it came from. So you have to have the feeling to know anything about intelligence, or have any intelligence whatsoever, and come to conclusions based on your experience of sensing. And sensing comes with feelings, because you can't sense without having something there to cause senses. The senses are feelings. Seeing, whatever it may be, it causes feelings. It causes a feedback mechanism. Without that, you can't have intelligence. So you need those things, and that's what we're doing. They work in one. The intelligence is based off the feelings, but the feelings can be based off the intelligence. It's a feedback mechanism in and of itself, too. And it exists in and of itself as well. So it's one of those things that exists that's beyond our control, and we have to be forced to feel, and we're forced to feel because we have bodies, and that's what we're doing. We're sensations. So yes, there's nothing more we can do but sense, and our intelligence is based off of that, and our feelings are based off our intelligence to a certain degree. But then again, no, our intelligence is morally based off of, is more often than not based on our, it's more vice versa than the other one. It's more that our feelings are based off of, our intelligence is based off of our feelings, and feelings are based off our intelligence. We can feel something because we recognize something intellectually, but feelings as a whole is something that creates intelligence more than anything. So let me try to get back to where I was on the other subject. Okay, you can't contradict yourself, right? So let's try to reach that end again. You can't contradict yourself in trying to accomplish a goal. And you can try your best in not being a hypocrite, but you can only do so much. So you have to be open to all things. But when it comes to being an antinatalist, yes, you can do your best, because it only requires one thing, not having kids. And it's something that's easy. It's a simple thing, and you can follow those rules and functions much easier. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to reach my conclusion again where I was going with the other one. Because once the video ends, it ends. And I'm not going to try to make the video again. That's just frustrating and discouraging. Let's see. So So yeah, I was mentioning that. I think, let's do this. I think you understand exactly what I was going to say. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks for me. I think you can know exactly what I was going to say when I was mentioning this, where I was going with it, because I'm sure you all understand to a certain degree what I was going to say anyway. Because I can't remember exactly where I was going. I was mentioning something about antinatalism, right? Yeah, I was mentioning something about that. And I was mentioning something about you can't contradict yourself. You have to be open to all possibilities. And when you, just as an example to use, when not being a hypocrite to the making a point, it's hard not to be a hypocrite and break your own rules. And you have to try your best, but you can only do so much. Well, I can sit here and think all day, but if I have anything else to say, if I remember it, I can always mention it in another video. So just fill in the blank, please. I hope you can fill in the blank for me. I'm sure you understood what I was going to say. I hope you're smart enough to know where I was going with that. Cross my fingers. And hope to die. So yes, if I have anything else to say, if I remember, I'll mention it in another video. So thank you, and until next time, bye.